The Zach Taylor era begins in Cincinnati. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, the Bengals have a new man calling the shots. Zach Taylor, the second youngest coach in the entire league, as they head to Seattle to take on the oldest coach in the league, Pete Carroll of the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back at halftime with a look at the games in progress. But first, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by are the guys in the booth, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
It is loud and it is wet here, Coach, as we welcome you inside CenturyLink Field on a patented rainy afternoon in Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. So happy to be with you, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, and we thought it would never get here, but here we are back together. It's opening weekend of the 100th season in the NFL.
So much football to talk about. That's our main focus. But how about how much happened in the offseason? Rules changes. Overtime rules were discussed in a big way. Some superstars changed addresses. There's a whole lot to talk about in the NFL in addition to this game we're getting ready to watch.
Set to go now on a prototypical rainy northwestern afternoon. And off we go from Seattle. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
And there's no substitute for experience in this league, and what it usually leads to, a whole lot of confidence. Andy Dalton is sharp with where to go with the football now. I think he sees reads before they actually even happen. He can sense them now, and he is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And out across midfield down to the 45. Heck of a start. A 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. A first carry for the former Oklahoma Sooner, Joe Mixon. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah. And a look now at the Cincinnati offense.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On first down, Wilson completes it to Dixon. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick, there on the coverage. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 8 yards to go.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And he finds Seferian-Jenkins. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Taking it in from a yard out. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This fielded at the 2. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
How many times in the course of a game do you talk about momentum plays? And I think we just saw one there.
Absolutely.
Just scored, right?
Just took the lead.
Just took the lead, went downfield, got the ball free again, and picked it up. They got a chance to really get the momentum on their side now.
And now they'll try to pile on. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense, but in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Defense.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
The Bengals drive about to get going. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. Now it's Lockett. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
To throw again on second down, Wilson.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Steps away to his left. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That's good for 28 yards. Here's Wilson throwing on first down. Flush to his right. And this one's incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. The Seahawks on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Rolling to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson as the first half. That lead out a bit further.
Because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time remaining for likely one final play. You're on your side of the field, but, heck, maybe you throw one up 50-plus yards, see what happens.
Don't forget that taking the knee is the right play to make because you just get out of there, you regroup, you start over. But if you're going to take the shot, you do have a chance of either making the play happen or picking up a deep pass interference call. And remember, it's the NFL.
And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
This throw complete, Wilson finding Lockett. Another big hitter there, this one good for 18.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Something to watch here in Week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Hey, lady! Come on, baby, come on, let's go. Bang out, bam, bam.
Wilson now on first down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on second and 10. Wilson going to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Another shot from the 9 on second and goal. Now it's Wilson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Here's Bryant for the extra point. So he missed his first 2, but this time it's good, and that'll extend the lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. And that one is his second fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
They'll run on first down. Carson, and he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And it's a fumble, and the Bengals have recovered it. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Dalton. Oh, nearly picked. Almost intercepted, but he couldn't hang on, and it's 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Dalton on the draw to Mixon. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Dalton's pass complete to Green. A.J. Green. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, 69 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick, there on the coverage. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run it with Carson. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1. And this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Big stop, let's go.
Throwing now is Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. Can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6. Dancing to his left. And he comes back with one complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And Dixon over the middle. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Oh, Wilson going to throw. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that. Put it on him and score a touchdown.
Bryant now to tack on the extra point. These have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Dalton and the offense now. Down by 12. A little under a minute to go. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a first down. Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. So Dalton now. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So the victory here for Seattle. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason, but now I'm listening to you. So for the Seahawks, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season